TheaterWorks Florida is an award-winning theater company which prides itself on offering some of the finest theatrical experiences available today. Now located permanently in Davenport, they've enjoyed great success in their inaugural season and are closing that season with a show Polk County residents are bound to love. More information on that show and their upcoming programming on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Lauren Lingell. Joining me in studio, we have Scott Cook, the artistic producer for TheaterWorks Florida, and Heather Lynn Mendoza, who is an actress in the TheaterWorks company. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you. It's great to be here, Lauren.
I'm so glad to see you back. I've been waiting for this all late hours of today.
Great.
So you've got this wonderful show coming up. It's Trailer Park, the Great American Trailer Park Musical. Nothing like anything else.
Nothing like we've done this year.
So let's start off. Tell me a little bit about what's kind of the synopsis.
The easiest the tagline I've been using in marketing is it's the bad boy, feel good, rock and roll Florida musical, which is exactly why everybody needs to come see it, because we all live here.
So what do you mean by bad boy?
It is not rated G. It is not kid friendly. It has strong language, adult situations, and jalapeno, Pringles, and spray cheese. So we had to give it a rating.
Fantastic. And if I understand correctly, you were like, hey, you guys are doing that. I'm coming. I'm getting in on this.
Absolutely. I was in the show 8 years ago when TheaterWorks Florida did it, and I had one of the best experiences of my life. And the second I found out they were doing it again, I'm like, I don't care what I have to do in my personal life. I need to be there for this again because it's so amazing.
Before we get into what role you take on, let's talk a little bit about Can you give us a synopsis without giving too much away? You know?
There are these crazy characters that all reside in Armadillo Acres, which is North Florida's most exclusive manufactured housing community.
Oh my!
It's a trailer
it
park.
actually was designed off of the North Florida area up around where the prison is. Which the prison is a part of the story. But there is a character named Jeannie, and she is an agoraphobic. She's been locked in her trailer for 20 years, and her husband is a toll booth collector. So they already have a problem. However, enter into this crazy world Pippi, a stripper on the run from Oklahoma City, and her strange boyfriend Duke, who's a marker huffer.
My goodness.
And Norbert and Pippi accidentally fall in love. Well, it's Norbert's 20th anniversary. He's trying to lure Jeannie out of her trailer to go to the Escapades, because that's their special evening out. And that really is the story of what happens. Now, there's this trio of girls mashed up in the middle of it all who tell the story, interact with the audience, keep you going, and always eavesdropping to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out how this little love triangle is going to end up. And I think the thing that is it sounds absolutely crazy, right? And way over the top, and it 150% is. But at the heart of it is this incredible love story and some very real human characters that when I first got a hold of the piece, I, much like the original authors, felt very strongly that we are not creating the show to make fun of people who live in trailer parks or manufactured homes, but we're having fun with them. And because of that turn in the direction, I think is why it was so popular. We opened the show at the Orlando Fringe Festival in 2010. Okay, 2010. You couldn't get a ticket to save your life within days. You could not get near the show.
Wow.
And it has so much Florida humor that you're immediately immersed in this world because we live here in this world already. And to see what happens and the way it's all played out is what really made people fall in love with it.
I mean, even in our respective groups of people. I'm sure that we have like little nuances and things that we understand ourselves.
Absolutely.
That, other people might be like, okay, well, that's a little weird.
Honestly, you will know one of the 7 people up there. You will actually know somebody, or at least have brushed elbows with them. And what's really neat, in the research, when you look at how the show got created, it started with Betsy Kelso, who did the book, and David Nels, who did the lyrics and music. They just had this experience with a trailer park that was nearby, and they said, these are some of the coolest people on the planet. Let's write a show. And that's how it started.
So what role do you take in this production?
I am Betty. I am the leasing manager of the trailer park, so I kind of run everything, and I personally like to think of myself as the leader of our trailer park Greek chorus. I'm kind of like the maternal figure over everyone in the trailer park, but I'm really just the one who kind of looks out for everybody. I have a lot of really great one-liners that just make me laugh when I say them, let alone will make everyone crack up in the audience. But I've been able to build relationships with pretty much every character in the show, and I have a connection with each of them in one way, shape, or form. So I feel like it's almost like I'm the anchor a little bit of the park, and in that way, in that respect, kind of the show a little bit.
I feel like that would kind of be the most difficult part in something like this, to not find yourself just like cracking up at something.
I literally cannot get through rehearsal without falling on my table screaming and laughing.
None of us can.
Nobody can. It is the most outrageous rehearsal process you've ever seen, because you come in the other, about a week ago I said, all of a sudden somebody flipped the switch and we were in Armadillo Acres, and nobody comes out of it when we're in rehearsal. So it's like really being there in the park with these people. Wow. On top of the fact, everybody wants this to be so outrageously good that they have just leapt into the middle of Armadillo Acres and have become these people. Like with Betty, she can turn it on and off in 2 seconds, and she really is this person. And it's what's so amazing about the process is it's so much fun. It's difficult. Honestly, one of the hardest ensemble shows I think I've ever laid eyes on in my life. A lot of that is because of the score. Is a severe rock and roll score. Agreed?
It's not for the faint of heart musical theater girl. It is, you have to have some behind it, or you're just not going to do it justice.
Yeah.
And we have an amazing cast of both men and the women that are in the show, that it was cast very well.
Thank you.
And but I mean, we're really kicking some butt up there, belting out like we're Pat Benatar. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a choir instructor in high school, and he was like, I need that nice womanly sound, you know, like that. And it was kind of like, I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure I can bring the A game, but I know what you're talking about.
I think a lot of that, like we're talking with the music and the score, much like when we did it in 2010, nobody really comes, except of course Heather knew what she was getting herself into, but everybody else is new to the production. And there is a training period of going from here to here with the music, because it's not something you sing every day, you know. The musical theater pool we have around here isn't used to this kind of music, because it's not like 1 or 2 songs, it's the entire score is like this. On top of the fact, there is an ungodly amount of choreography, and then building these real characters. So every night is a huge challenge for everybody, but have met it brilliantly already, and we're just getting into Act 2 tonight. Right? Yeah.
When you say score, what are you talking about?
The music, the actual songs that are in the show. Yep, the musical score. When they wrote it with such energy and such, I can't even think of the word. It's just, of all the scores I've worked with in musical theater, having directed for over 32 years, it literally is, even though it appears simple, it is one of the most demanding scores because of the rock and roll element that's in it. And they not only took rock and roll, but they built musical theater into these songs as well. So they're very character driven, and they're always in the stratosphere singing.
So how do you find these people? I mean, how do you find these
very,
actors?
Very lucky.
He hasn't let me go since 2010.
When I knew we were going to do it, I started planting the seed through the Facebook Messenger with this one. But strangely enough, we've all kept in touch since 2010. That original crew is such a family. We still talk amongst each other today. But looking for these people is hard, is to hunt down. I think we went through 4 or 5 rounds of auditions beyond the initial audition to find the right people. I will not and would not cast people who don't belong in these roles because I know what's going to happen. If I got the wrong person in that role, they're going to get into rehearsal and realize, I can't do this.
Yeah, and they're going to compromise your whole production.
And they'll compromise the quality of the production by the time it's over with, you know, on and on. And as a director, I wouldn't do that to an actor. There's incredible talent all over Central Florida, all over the world. When I look at somebody and I'm casting them, I want to make sure that the material fits and that there is potential there. I don't expect you to be performing the show, otherwise what's the point of rehearsal? But I do need to know you have the potential to do all of the material. So it's imperative I know my material before I even start looking at other people.
So your role, among other things, in running TheaterWorks in this particular production is you are directing.
Directing and choreographing.
Okay, so you are just pulling out the talent and tugging those strings.
It is the most, I think when I work with a show like this, it is the most rewarding thing for me. My silent applause is to watch somebody like Heather turn around and create this Betty character, and I go home at night going, I've done my job. Because she understood what I saw in my head. What she now brings to the table started with me saying, do this, here's how we feel, this is where the character comes from, here's the storyline, here's where we want her to go. A musical, obviously, entails acting, singing, and dancing. So you are constantly working, like was it last night we just did the drill?
Last night I had the best workout of my life.
We did what we call
Sore today.
We call it a drill. They've all learned the music. Now, quickly, they will go to the piano, they will drill with the musical director, they will get it sounding right, and then their goal with me is to take that sound from the piano out to the dance floor, dance it, and sound exactly like it was when you sat down. And that's drill. And you drill, you stop and go and stop and go and stop and go until it's perfect.
So if I asked for maybe a sample, could Betty give us a sample?
I know she can, and she will blow this roof off.
It's going to be loud.
It's going to be really
I don't know
loud.
if the mic would be able to handle me.
I don't know. That would be a Dion, I guess. But that would be really cool, though.
I could just give you the opening line of the show.
Oh, sure.
Just feel that late summer fire.
Woo.
Burning up the sky.
I'm ready, man. Where's the ticket?
This
Oh, yeah.
doesn't stop
Let's go.
for 2
And it just
hours.
gets higher.
And it just keeps getting higher and higher. And now imagine all of the people. I mean, she's brilliant. I mean, we're going to talk like she's not
Yeah.
here for a second. She is utterly brilliant. And that powerhouse voice is like, not just because we're sitting still, is like up there running around and dancing and climbing on top of steps and, you know, twirling and whirling. And
All right.
and it's that kind of show.
I'm all right. Now tell me
Ready to
how
go?
to get. All right, let's talk about where I could get some tickets and,
Sure.
and when the show starts and that sort of
Sure.
thing.
We're only playing 2 weekends, so you can get them at theaterworksfl.org, which is our website, and our
Okay.
online box office is there. We're very, very excited. We've sold out our first show, and the other shows are climbing to the sellout rate right now. And that's a great thing for us because, as you know, in my first lengthy interview,
Yes.
we talked about the beginning of TheaterWorks setting down in Davenport and having their own space. And 1 year later, we are looking at sellout potentials for our very first sellout in this area. But the tickets are online. Adults are 24. Students are 19, and we also have group rates. And this is our first time we're really seeing groups come in because people have seen the marketing, have seen the logo. We just did a live event over the weekend at the Davenport Barbecue.
Grill's Gone
Grill's
Wild.
Gone Wild, which is kind of the perfect place for us to
Perfect
be.
for us to bring our
Yeah,
trailer.
I set 6 of them out on the street and said, just go get everybody out there. And they did, like a bunch of wild women and men. And everybody had such a good time. Literally, the phone was going off the hook this morning.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell me that date one more time. You
Okay,
gave
so
me
the
this.
date is March 9th through
Okay.
the 18th. We do Friday and Saturday at 8 o'clock, and we do Sundays at 2.
Okay.
And it'll play for the 2 weekends.
Okay, perfect. And we said you can go to theaterworksfl.org. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing there is not kid friendly,
Not kid-friendly.
but it's going to be one heck of a good time.
One heck of a party. Oh, and the other great thing about this, which, you know, all of the other theaters have gotten their budgets up to be able to do this, but this will be our first show in the Davenport space with a live band as well. You'll have a rock band in there as well.
Well, you can't miss that. We're out of time.
Okay.
But I'm going to see you guys at the show.
Great.
And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You're so
This is-
talented,
Thank
and
you.
I'm just glad to know you both. So
Thanks,
you.
Lauren.
Thanks so much.
Come join TheaterWorks Florida on their journey to Armadillo Acres as they present the Great American Trailer Park Musical, located at the Davenport Community Campus, 8 East Cypress Street in Davenport. The show will be presented from March 9 through March 18. Tickets are $24 for adults and $19 for students, and it has been said to make audiences fall out of their seats laughing. Keep that in mind. It is rated PG-13 for strong language, adult situations, and some spray cheese. For tickets and more information, you can follow them on social media. Give them a call at 407-340-0472 or visit them on the web at www.theaterworksfl.org.